What's up, everyone? This is Christian Duke. You're watching the Iron Duke Speaks, brought to you courtesy of IronMagLabs.com, your go-to source for all your bodybuilding and fitness supplements. Today is Wednesday, May the 9th, and let me tell you, everyone is still talking about last weekend's NPC Pittsburgh Championships and Ivy Pro League Pittsburgh Pro. Mr. Jim Mannion's show was just amazing. The guest posers, my God. Phil, Heath, Dexter Jackson, Ruli Winkler, Big Ramy, Flexitron Roden. I mean, come on, guys. Breon Ansley, your classic physique Mr. Olympia. We were there, myself and Hector Mendoza, representing IronMag.com. And, you know, let me tell you something. We got so many great interviews. Ruli Winkler, Dexter Jackson, Big Ramy. Big Ramy spoke to us. I mean, that's insane. You know what I mean? And this is a guy who's going into this year's Mr. Olympia, you know, with renewed vigor. This is a man that is not going to just let Phil Heath go to Las Vegas, you know what I mean, go to that stage and get, you know, his 8th Sandow, tying the totally awesome Lee Haney and the big nasty Ronnie Coleman. You know, Big Ramy has got it in his mind, in his heart, in his soul to win that Sandow and bring it back to Oxygen Gym in Kuwait. And this is a man who has stood up on that stage, who has been second, and who's literally seen his whole world, you know, crushed. Because, you know, when you're second place and you're up there and you're, you know, it's two guys and you're waiting for the judges to announce, you know, you're waiting for Bob Ciccarello, legendary MC, to announce the next Mr. Olympia, and when it's not your name, it's crushing, you know. Now some guys will quit, some guys will walk off the stage, you know, they get all pissed off, but other guys will take the whole next year and they'll come back bigger, badder, more ripped, more freaky. And I gotta be honest, you know, Big Ramy, 350 pounds of near solid muscle on that Pittsburgh Pro stage. I mean, you know, mounts, jaws were dropping, my friends. Jaws were dropping. You know, we interviewed him. We also hung out, Hector and myself hung out with Sean Flexitron Roden and Nathan Diasha. Now, I was not familiar with Nathan. I know of Nathan. He's all magazine covers and winning all the shows, but I had never met him before. And he's a really, really cool guy. We saw William Bonack and Dennis Wolf in the lobby. We talked to them for about 5 minutes. Now, we didn't get to interview them. It was Sunday morning. But, you know, we were talking, and it was cool, you know, and it was just a great vibe, you know. I mean, we didn't even ask them for a picture because, you know, sometimes you want to treat celebrities like human beings, and you don't want to be like, oh, well, we don't have our cameras right now. We can run up and get them. I could leave Hector here, you know, distracting while I go do that. Or maybe we could interview on a phone. Or maybe we could just be like, you know, regular people wearing our IronMag Labs and our Muscle Gels t-shirts and talk to you like normal human beings about, you know, bodybuilding and life, the hotel, you know, the show, what you had for dinner, you know, like, you know, basketball, whatever, you know what I mean? Because that's big leagues, you know what I mean? It's big leagues, you know, where you can talk to people, you know, and not be starstruck. The people that aren't starstruck are the people that are really in the business, you know what I mean? I see, like, you know, celebrities at the airport, and half the time I don't look at them a second time because I don't want them to feel uncomfortable. And as a result, they come and talk to me. Clay from Sons of Anarchy, this is what happened with him. I saw him at the airport, didn't make a big scene, didn't even look at him a second time. And he had a dog with him and his family, whatever. And I totally respected that. And I love Sons of Anarchy. I didn't say anything. He talked to me. And then he saw me again. He talked to me again. And the thing is, I'm not going to ask him for a picture or an autograph because, I mean, that's weak. I mean, the people that do that usually are people like, oh my God, it's Clay from Sons of Anarchy. You know, that's not me. You know what I mean? And nobody that works at IronMag.com is like that either, you know? And speaking of IronMag.com, we have got a who's who of the best shows online. I mean, today's Wednesday, so you get the Iron Duke Speaks in the morning, giving you all the news and all that. Tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at IronMag Labs on Facebook, you have Ask Big Frank Live. Big Frank Budaleski, I mean, this guy gets mobbed at the expos. This is a guy who had literally given up on bodybuilding, and Rich Piana saw him, and Rich Piana, you know, said, hey, you know, you've got something to offer. You know, you're doing good things. I want you to do those good things with Team 5%. And you guys know what happened with Team 5%. You may or you may not. That's not for me to say. But now he's with us. You know what I mean? He's a sponsored athlete. He's our lone sponsored athlete. We're actively looking for 1 or 2 women. Greg Valentino is not a sponsored athlete. Greg Valentino is signed talent, which is different. You know what I mean? But Greg Valentino also has Momo Mafia, and every Monday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at IronMag Labs on Facebook, you know, he's got Greg Valentino live. I mean, this last Monday, he got, I think, 1,000 hits. 1,000 hits, like overnight. I mean, that's insane. Now, something's going on with YouTube. You know, YouTube, everybody, I was even talking with this about some of the guys at NPC News Online. And Hector and I also did some work for NPC News Online backstage. And it's an honor for us to do it and a great pleasure. You know what I mean? But I've got to be honest with you, YouTube is struggling. You know, a lot of people aren't watching it anymore. You know what I mean? And if they are, they're only watching about 2 to 2.5 minutes. I mean, that's shocking. 2 to 2.5 minutes. I mean, those are the analytics coming from the biggest providers in the industry. So, I mean, YouTube is definitely on the ropes. But Facebook, you know, that's how it works with social media. You know, one day your social media is king, a la MySpace. The next day, it's dead. You know, a la Twitter, a la MySpace. I mean, you know, you know, and so Facebook, because everybody has it, I guess now is starting to get some momentum again. So what we're doing is we have Greg Valentino live every Monday night and Ask Big Frank every Wednesday night, both at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, both at IronMag Labs Facebook account, which is facebook.com/IronMag Labs. And, you know, they're getting crazy hits. I mean, crazy hits. Now, last week's Ask Big Frank was not up because of a technical difficulty. I mean, it went up fine, but the whole replay thing, you know, but he put it up on his channel, and we're going to go ahead and put it up again this week, and we're going to do a double feature. We're going to put out his tonight is going to go, so his tonight's going to be on Facebook. For his last week is going to go to YouTube, and then his from tonight's going to go. It'll all be at IronMag.com. Everything gets sorted out at IronMag.com. But tonight, you do not want to miss Ask Big Frank at Facebook, IronMag Labs, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's going to be wild. It's going to be crazy. We got Chris the Goon Griffin. Now, last week, Chris the Goon Griffin put out a video that was so powerful because he talked about a cancer scare. And anybody that's ever had a cancer scare, I mean, he said he came to, he put his life in perspective, and he understood, he sort of had to grasp the finality of life. And he was able to do that. And that's very, very difficult to sort of prepare yourself for the possibility of dying, of death. That is just something very, very all-encompassing, very, very like soul-wrenching to deal with. And he did. And thank God that he's with us because we love him. And he's a very, very important and valued member of the IronMag family. But the fact is he had a terrible, terrible cancer scare. And he actually opens up and talks about that. You know what I mean? He talks about that. With his Down and Dirty with the Goon from last week, also available at IronMag.com. We've got a brand new show, which is called King of the Jungle, live from the Lion's Den, and that is John Haynoski's show. Now, that show is to me, honestly, it's got so much potential because it's MMA, it's bodybuilding, it's Moto X, it's arm wrestling. I mean, he's an arm wrestler. It's, you know, and let me tell you something, you know, John Haynoski is a living legend in Erie, Pennsylvania. And I know because I've gone to Erie for the NPC Great Lakes. And my Uber drivers, both of them, knew who he was. Everybody at the venue, which is the Presque Isle Casino, knew who he was. The people at the hotel knew who he was. He's arm wrestling royalty in Erie. People know this guy. I mean, this guy is like, you know, akin to Big Frank Budaleski in Buffalo. I mean, everybody in Buffalo knows who Big Frank is. He gets mobbed. He can't go anywhere without being, you know, like people see him. Oh my God, it's Big Frank. So, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, this is important because you look at Greg Valentino. You know, Greg Valentino gets mobbed also wherever he goes, whether it's the Arnold, the Olympia, you know, because everybody knows, oh, the man with the biggest arms, you know what I mean? The columnist of the year at Muscular Development, you know, the guy on Bigger, Stronger, Faster, Carson Daly, Tyra Banks, I mean, all these things, they know him. You know, The Meat Puppet, you know, Generation Iron, all these great movies. And by the way, The Meat Puppet is actually not Greg's best role or his biggest role, but it was a good movie. It was in theaters also. You know what I mean? But the reality of the matter is that we have got so much talent, and you know, everybody has to start out somewhere. You know, not everyone is a mega hit immediately. And the beauty of IronMag.com is that we've got a great graphic designer in Nadeem Nirvana out of London. We've got a great magazine, IronMagazine.com, over 11,000 articles, not puff pieces, not, you know, a paragraph with a picture, actual articles written by actual writers who've also written for actual magazines, like Greg Valentino, who is now writing a version of his Ramblin' Freak at IronMagazine.com. So we've got IronMagazine.com, we've got the IronMag forums, you know, we've got IronMag.com, which has all the videos, we've got the YouTube channel, we've got the Facebook page, we've got it all, you know what I mean? And so not every show is an immediate hit. So we've got everything. We've got all the resources in place, ready to go to help launch new shows. So again, I have no doubt that John Hanoski's show is going to be a massive hit, just like Chris Lagoon Griffin's is, just like mine is, just like Greg's is, just like Frank's is, because it's got a lot of potential. Now, I want to talk about some of the products too, because again, we need to talk about these products because IronMag Labs is putting out great stuff. Now, my personal favorite right here is the Lean Fuel Extreme version 2. Okay, now I got the version 1, believe it or not, in the closet. Still to this day, I got one bottle unopened, but this is version 2. It's a fantastic thermogenic. I also want to talk about the pre-workout. Now, the pre-workout's got a lot of great ingredients, okay? So the Maximum Pump, the Extreme Maximum Pump, is a fantastic product. The grape flavor is delicious. You shake it up, it's amazing. It's, you know, it's got the caffeine, and it's got a lot of other products. But what I want to talk about today is the arginine alpha ketoglutarate, or the arginine AKG, which is the best arginine for the pumping, okay? This is what really brings oxygen, puts it in the bloodstream, and takes it directly to the muscle to give you that swole feel. Now, you have L-arginine, but arginine AKG is the gold standard, is the platinum standard, is the diamond standard. I don't know how to else elaborate that arginine AKG is the best arginine for bodybuilding purposes, and you get 500 milligrams in every single serving of the pre-workout. So again, that's huge. Also, Greg Valentino's favorite product, and I actually like this very much too, but I got to be careful with this because I do a lot of contest coverage. And if I take this the night before the pre-judge, I might wake up an hour late. But Dream and Grow is a fantastic product. Greg Valentino swears by this. You can get any of these products by using my discount code IronDuke15. You'll save 15% off your purchase. The same goes if you want to use Big Frank's, Big Frank 15. If you want to use Greg's, Momo 15. If you want to use John Hanoski's Lion 15. Or if you want to use Chris the Goon Griffin's Goon 15, you'll save 15% off. So again, guys, we've got a lot of great products at ironmaglabs.com. Also check out musclegels.com. That's muscle gels with a Z. And listen, you know, the sky's the limit, guys. There's so much stuff going on right now. There's so many people. Now we're starting to really get into this sort of pre-Mr. Olympia. You know, the whole thing of the Arnold, that's sort of, it's already starting to fade away a little bit. You know, a lot of people with the Arnold Classic, especially this year's Arnold Classic, because it was so competitive. You know, people were just like, oh my God, they couldn't get over it, how huge it was, you know, and huge kudos to Jim and Bob Lorimer, huge kudos to Matt Lors, and of course, huge kudos to Arnold, because Arnold does so much for that contest, you know what I mean? But the thing is now everyone is looking at the Mr. Olympia, and they're like, now all of the shows leading up to the Mr. Olympia are looked at even more, with even more scrutiny, because people now want to see, okay, this guy's got almost enough points. Is he going to go to the Olympia? This guy just won a show. He's got an automatic qualification. That guy could do some serious damage, but he ain't competing. Is he waiting to the last minute to jump into a show and like wherever and hopefully be able to get in? This is when it gets good. And let me tell you something. Phil the Gift Heath, who unfortunately did not speak to me at all at this past event, didn't even look at me, but I'm guilty of it too. I didn't talk, and I didn't look at him either. And at one time, we were all hanging out. I think there was a whopping total of 6 of us. And no, 8 of us. 8 of us. That's not, you know, 8 is not that many people in an area maybe half the size of this room. Basically, all congregated along a rectangular table. It was really awkward. But I'm not going to speak to someone, or much less apologize to someone, just because I said last year that I thought that Sean Flexitron Roden, who had gotten second the year prior, had a very good chance of winning, and I maybe said it was going to win. Big deal. So I said he was going to win to a guy that was going for his 7th Olympia. Why he would get so butthurt over that, I don't know, but I would have loved to have talked to him. I've always thought he's a great champion. I met him at a show in Kalamazoo. I think it was like a month after he won the Ironman in 2007. I've always liked Phil Heath. I've always said he's got an insane physique. And but I'm not going to talk to someone, much less apologize, because as a fan and as a journalist, I think someone else is going to win. And if you looked at Flexitron in 2016 and you looked at his prep in 2017, I don't think it was, at least from a logistic point of view, I don't think it was that out of the question to say that he was going to win either. But even if he was even if he had just the most lackluster physique and the worst chances of winning as a person, I could root for whoever I want. And for the champ to get mad and then block me on Twitter and block me on Instagram, I'm sorry. I'm not going to apologize for having an opinion. And I'm not, it's just as insane. But he wasn't mean to me, and I wasn't mean to him. We just didn't talk, and it was awkward, but whatever, Nonetheless, it was a great competition. The host hotel, you couldn't have asked for a better place. The venue, my gosh, the Soldiers and Sailors Museum there, absolutely beautiful. And if you know the story, Gary Yuta told a story on stage, which was very, very powerful. I didn't know, but I guess the city or the state or somebody wanted to tear the place down, and the veterans got together, they raised the money, they renovated it, and they saved that venue. And let me tell you something, just looking at it, it's breathtaking, and you couldn't ask for a better building, you couldn't ask for a more historic building. It's just perfect, between the Soldiers and Sailors and the Wyndham and everything that it has to offer, in the Pitt area there, the University of Pittsburgh, I believe, area there. There's restaurants, there's just a ton of life. It's safe, it's clean, it's just beautiful. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better venue, a better show, better folks to run it. Gary Yuta did a fantastic job. You had a who's who. You had the NPC News Online, led by J.M. Mannion. You had Amir Morandi there. Tyler Mannion was also running the show with his grandpa, and it was amazing. Rick Bayardi backstage with the legendary A-Team. I mean, again, guys, you're talking about a competition that just didn't cut any corners, pulled out all the stops, and left everyone with their jaws dropped, okay? It's Wednesday, May the 9th, and my jaw is still dropped from how cool that show was. All right, guys, well, I really appreciate you guys tuning in to watch the Iron Duke Speaks. I'm going to invite you to subscribe to our channel on Instagram, also to our channel on Facebook. I'm going to invite you to join us on, Twitter. I mean, we still tweet from time to time. We're everywhere. IronMag Labs, Team IML, the family is everywhere. If you want to, be a video star, hit me up. You know what I mean? If I see potential, ultimately I have the final say. And if you have potential, if you've got heart, and you want to do a video, I'll give you a try. But you gotta work. You gotta work hard in this family. I was gonna say this Borgata, but we're not a crime family. You gotta work hard in this family. Look at Greg Valentino. Look at Big Frank Budaleski. Look at Chris Sagoon Griffin. Look at John Hanowski. Look at me. You gotta work hard. You don't work hard, you're out of here.